Welcome to the Paper Call Coaching Call 9/21. That's September 21st, 2014. This is actually not the live webinar itself. We had some technical difficulties throughout it, so I decided I would just redo the whole thing as a separate recording. So here we go. So everything still holds true. This is where I'm actually doing the webinar right now in a shared office space in Barcelona, and that's actually across the street right there. It's a very narrow street, so you're going to hear some cars going by, like that little motorcycle. So I apologize for that, but we're going to get it done. So found this image here. Just want you to take a minute and think about which one are you? Are you the thinker, the analysis paralysis type of person? Are you the kind of person that just gets up and just does things? Are you the doer? You see those people every once in a while. I've seen people like at live events where it's like midway through it, they got the idea from a speaker and that they said, that's what I need to be doing right now. And they just get up and they leave and they never return. Those are the doers on there. So are you a doer or a thinker? Hopefully you're all doers on here. So this is what we're going to learn here today. I'm going to go over a really cool source for paper call niches that includes prices. And these are all proven niches. And you'll get a lot of great ideas that maybe you never thought of before, and you'll also get some prices as well. I'm going to go over some really cool and alternative ways to analyze and use completely free tools, stuff I think you probably had never even heard of before. And if you have, maybe you haven't seen them all together working in conjunction, and it's going to help you analyze your competition better so you know what you're up against. And then I use it even more so, the methods I'm going to teach you, for analyzing the backlinks that I purchase and also analyzing my private blog networks. And I guarantee you, this is stuff no one else is showing you out there. And I'm going to show you a cool little hack trick on how to tell how many citations, like Yellow Pages, Yelp, that your particular site will have. Boy, I really apologize for the noise there. Okay, so here we go, and then we'll go over some of the questions and answers that people sent in. So let's get started here. First thing, let's go to offervault.com, and that is going to be our source here. Offervault.com, there we go. And here we are. Okay, so when you get in here, and you don't have to qualify for this, you just have to set up an account. It's completely free. Just confirm your email and you're set up. So come right here to the pay-per call section, and here's you're gonna get all of these pay-per-call. Now these are affiliate offers. I would not suggest you do them because you're going to be the middle person in this, and you're not going to get paid as much as you should. This is going to be on here. They charge the middle guy in here, probably the guy who produces this, charges somewhere around, probably around at least double these on here, if not even more. So you definitely don't want to become an affiliate. Just use this only for ideas. Okay, so let's go through some of these. So the auto insurance on here, it's $20. You could easily sell auto insurance leads for at least double that on that. National debt relief on here. This is something I've never even thought of before, but this is for menopause, so you might want to look into that. It's $10. I think you'd get more than that. Some others. Let's just scroll here. There's hundreds and hundreds of them on here. U.S. degree. That's if someone calls in, they're looking for a consultation on how to get a higher education. Maybe they've had a little bit of college, but they're looking for some more, stuff like that. They'll actually pay a lot more. DirecTV satellite on here. Auto insurance weekly payouts. So this is just some of these people on here are getting up to $2,000 a week on this stuff. So auto insurance is hot. Credit repair. This is a national company for window remodeling. They pay $16. You could easily, if you're not going this way through them, because you're cut out the middleman, you have to do all the same work. There's no reason to pay them for this. You get at least $30 per lead there. The Glass Doctor, ADT Home, $52. You could easily get $100 for that. Let's go into the second page. And there's hundreds and hundreds of these, so you can go through these yourself and check them out. There's ADT in here, business loans, personal injury on here, $50. You could easily charge $100 for personal injury, no problem on that. College arts degree. Let's see, keep going through here. These are good here too, and these are hot. These are you'll see quite a few of these insurance and type services for Spanish speakers, and they're really easy to rank for these. And they're for the U.S. on here. It's just that a lot of times people will type in to Google, auto insurance for Spanish speakers, and it's easy to rank for here. But it's for motorcycle and also for other types of insurance too. So, anyways, you can go through this stuff. You'll see like drug rehabs are really popular, usually on these. Home improvement. They also have personal injury in Spanish too. On here's another one on here. Those are really easy to rank for. Tax debt relief. You can get a lot more than $21 for that. At least double that. Anyways, go through that. It's offervault.com. Really a fantastic source for getting ideas and also prices for paper leads. So let's go over here. And what I'm going to go over these these three. These are all free plugins. You can use them with Firefox or Chrome. On here, I'll be demoing them on Firefox during this replay here. So SEO Moz toolbar is what I'm going to be looking at, and the two things that we're going to be looking at on SEO Moz, and I'll go over a whole bunch of examples. So, is that we're looking at the page authority and domain authority. Okay, and it's important for these because the page authority measures a predictive ranking strength of a single page. Okay, where the domain measures the strength of an entire site, not just a page on here. But we want to, when you're looking to buy a domain, these are the minimum that you're looking at. You're going to be, so you take a domain that you're going to think about buying, you'd plug it into these tools. We'll go through a demo here. You want a minimum of a 15th for the page authority and the domain authority. And when you're buying backlinks, we'll go over some examples there. You want to get these much higher than those when you buy backlinks, but at least those at the bare minimum. Okay, so also going to be, we're using all three of these tools here. This is the second one. These are all free plugin tools for your browser. Majestic SEO Backlink Analyzer. And there's really two things we're looking at here. It's the citation flow. And that doesn't mean citations like yellow pages and stuff like that. It is the number of, and predicting how influential a URL might be based on how many sites link to it. So, in other words, the links that are coming to your site on here, how many other sites are linking to it, what's the flow of it. When you're buying an age domain, again, it'll give a score of 0 to 100. You want a minimum of 15, and a trust flow. This one's a really important factor, and what you'll find is this is usually a hard number to get up around 10 or 15, but you want at least a 15 on this end of it. And this is just really, it's just like it sounds, trustworthy on here. Okay, so we're going to take a look at those. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me get this out of the way here. Okay, so I've got these open now. Now this first one on here, this is going to be, this right here is the Majestic one right here, okay? And just a simple plugin, hides up there. Let's take a look at this. I really like this one too. Again, it's just a free plugin. Just search for it. And let's go ahead, and this is a fairly competitive niche, right? Divorce attorney, Fort Lauderdale. So I'm going to go ahead and I've already analyzed this one here. So I'm going to pull it up. It's going to bring the site up. So here it is. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the analysis here. And remember, we're looking at citation and trust flow just for the root domain. Okay, that's what we want to focus on. And I'm going to tell you right now, for local sites, anything in the 20s is really high for local sites, okay? Really high, even the competitive niche like this. So this is very high on here, even though it goes from 0 to 100. So these are some good numbers on here. So we know that this is one of the competitive analysis. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to some of this other stuff here. Now we do have this. It'll give external backlinks, 213. And what referring domains means is this is out of those 213 links, 31 of them tend to be where quite a bit of traffic comes from. So maybe it's a video or it's another citation on Yellow Pages, something like that, and then they end up clicking on the link and it takes them to the site. It's the domain that refers the most traffic to you, okay? But really I'm just looking at these first three ones, but particularly trust flow and citation. Now what's really cool is if you come up here on this end of it and you just click on this little icon there, you got to be logged in to do this. It's totally free account. Let me log in really quickly. And sorry, I should have this set up beforehand. Let me see if I can remember the password. Let's see if we can go here. Ooh, hopefully I got it right. And so what this is going to do is this is going to give you some really, this is totally free. It'll give you a lot more data on here, and particularly what I want you to look at is the anchor text on here. Okay, so here it is. And again, this is trust flow, citation flow, so that's fine. That's all the same information we had before. So is the domains and stuff here. But what I like to do is come down here and just take a look at this. This is the anchor text of how those links flow out. Check it out. So this right here, 13% of their anchor text is just the URL, just www. Another 13% is just the word visit website. Another 9% is their website again, but this time it's HTTP www. And here this is, looks like Carmen G. She's probably the attorney, so 9% of those are hers. And here's another version of the URL. That's 9%. Okay, here's a different version of her name, 8% on here. So her name would be more like the brand, the company, right? Visit our website for more information is 4%. Just www is 4%. And 4% is Fort Lauderdale divorce attorney. I want you to take note of that. This is just all others on here, okay? But check that out. That means that 4% of her links are anchor text of her keyword. That's it, okay? So I've been saying that for a long time now. Usually when people call in or contact our support desk to analyze why they're not ranking on page 1, is we'll run it through this tool, and we'll notice that at least 70 to 80% of their links are their anchor text, variations of it, okay? And that's where they get in trouble. So that's one thing you want to do. So it's good stuff to look at there. Let's go back here. Okay, so that's tool number 1. That's just the Majestic SEO backlink tool. All these other links, if you want to get them, are all paid, and we don't do the paid, but we want to get the trust flow. How could you increase the trust flow of your site? This is another thing we'll look at. We'll get people who get a citation flow, and they'll get, because I got some pretty decent quality backlinks coming in. It's pretty easy to get that score up around to 20. This one can be kind of tough. You need some good trusted backlinks, but it's not tough if you know how. Let me show you. So let's say I go back here to divorceattorney.com, and we'll find a trust flow site. We'll find a trusted site we could link to. Look, there's Yelp. Okay, so there's Yelp. It's right there on page 1. It's going to click on it, and then we'll run it through the same analysis. Now I want you to notice something here. Check out the trust flow of this. Boom, 70. That's really, really high. Okay, so what you need is you definitely need to get a backlink from some good citations. You'll notice this with Yellow Pages and stuff like this as well. Really high. So this is how you increase your trust flow, because that trust flow will go on to you. Let's do another one here. If I go back and search again, let's just go to videos, and we'll just take the divorce attorney Fort Lauderdale. So let's just take a look at that. And I'll pause it before it starts. So go ahead and pause it here. And okay.
Hi, this is Kevin Z from.
Okay, so pause it, and then I'll do the trust flow on here.
Are you on the search for the right lawyer? If so,
sorry about that. And the trust flow again on here, check it out, 98%. Okay, 100 is perfect. So you want to make sure that you've got some backlinks, particularly, you know, down in the description here, even though they're even though it's coming from a YouTube channel, that's where you want it from, in the description below. You want to have your link going out to your site. Really important, because this is a high trust site. It'll bring that trust flow up. We'll take a look at some examples. But if you're on page 2 or 3, you just keep sending backlinks, but you can't seem to get up to page 1, well, check out what your trust flow is. I guarantee you it's probably a 5 or less. And this would be some of the ways that you could help increase that up here. So let's take a look at, let's go back here, and we'll take a look at some of the other sites here. So here's some websites in here. Now she's right here. So she's basically almost number 1. Let's scroll down to the bottom and see on here. Okay, so here we go. So Andrew Fox, why is he down here lower? Let's analyze him, kind of compare him to where the one we just looked at here. So if we take a look at this, pull up here. Now he's got a 29, which is really high, and he's got a citation of 26. So he's looking really good here, but SEO and ranking is a whole lot of different factors, right? It's not just about trust flow and citation. He's only got about 63 links on here. Okay, let's take a look at his anchor text. Just curious about that, because that's what this will show on here. Whoops. And take a look at the anchor text on here. And I'm just kind of curious what he's got here. Man, the law offices of Andrew Fox. So 33%, that's branding. That's good. The law offices, another branding. Good, more branding. URL. So far, andrewfox.com, the law office, yeah. He's got, his anchor text is good. You know what? He doesn't have any anchor text for his keywords. And that's probably why he's not ranking for it. That's pretty crazy, isn't it? So let's go back to his site here. And that's why he doesn't, that's probably one of the reasons too. Another is he doesn't have a whole lot of links either. So that's one of the reasons. Let's take a look at these 2 sites on here as well. And I introduced 2 more tools on here. This is Moz. This one right here, I just looked at earlier. So we look at the page authority and the root domain. They've got a 29. You'll notice the page authority is always a little bit higher, and 18 for here. When you're buying domains or you're looking at domain links, you want these at least above 15. Okay, anything below that, just stay away from it. SEO Book, this is also another free plugin. It won't show your data here, but what you do is you just hit this little blue button here. It gives you a lot of cool, PageRank 4. I don't know, what Google's doing with PageRank right now. We're paying a lot more attention to trust flow and citations and page authority and domain authority than we are PageRank, but it is a factor to come in there. We've got the last cache date. Today is the 21st, so it was just cached yesterday, which is great. It means it's crawled about every 24 hours by Google. This is how old it was when it was, not necessarily when it's purchased. That's a misnomer. It's actually when the site actually gets its first recognized backlink. That's the age of it there. And then these are just, this is Open Site Explorer. Just gives a breakdown of some of the links on here, kind of give you an idea about what you're up against. So those are the 3 main tools. You don't have to have these, bulking up your site all the time. You can go to View and then your toolbar, and then you can just uncheck those, right? And then they're not showing up there. I just have them showing up here, but I wouldn't normally. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at. Let's go back to divorce attorney, and let's kind of analyze the 2 back and forth here. So here she is. I'll have both of those. So she's around 3rd. The other one's down there at the bottom. Again, she's got on here, it's about 213 links, and low 20s for the citation and trust flow. And then if we go back over to the page that's lower here, he's got less links, on here, a little bit higher. That's a higher 20s, but his anchor text, he has no anchor text at all. She has a good balance of it on that. And let's take a look at his, for Moz, the page authority is 29, and this is 18. What is it for this? So she's got him beat a little bit there, but still fairly close on that. I think she's just got the better links on that. She's got the better links and the better anchor text as well. So we come in here. Yeah, she's got a total links on here to the root domain about 3,000. That's a lot. And if we come back here and take a look at his, see, yeah, that's where he's lacking. And the number of pages that are indexed by Google is 25. Let's see what she's got. So she's only got 25 pages indexed. And what does she have indexed? She has 88. So she got more pages, some more quality backlinks. So that's why she's up there, and she's got a better anchor text in her site. So that's some cool ways you can use those three on here. I'm going to show you a cool little hack next. But before I get to that, whenever you're looking at purchasing domains on here, let me see if I can find a good example. So here's a good example. This is eBay, and I just typed in for SEO backlinks. I found this one, blog post on a PR9 domain. Now, sometimes they'll actually give you the URL where they're going to post it. If they don't, I would ask for it. Otherwise, they need to show this, which is really important. So this is your domain authority and your page authority, really high. Okay, so this is what this is doing right here. Okay, so this is the domain authority right here, DA, and that's the page authority. Anything above a 15 is good, but if you're getting a backlink around a 50, that's excellent. So definitely is good on here. So this would be an idea of a really good backlink. You don't need a few of these, and you're done. Okay, so this is even for people who do not want to but it has to show this. I don't really care about the page rank as much as there are sites on here where it'll have a page rank of a 5 or a 6, but these trust authorities, and then over here, the trust flow will be like 5. You don't even want that. You want to stay away from it, even though I have a page rank of a 5. And there's a lot of those out there. So you want to use these tools to look at the page authority and the domain authority, and also ideally too, you want to get the citation flow and especially the trust flow on here, and you can do that. So anyways, make sure you use those tools for everything, analyzing your backlinks, buying your backlinks, and you'll never get in trouble with your SEO if you do those things, and they're all free tools. So it's pretty cool, right? So let me show you a really cool hack on here to find out one other thing that's important, and that is your competition for local. What kind of citations are they using? How many do they have on here? So let's take a look at that. So this is a great little hack on here. If you just put in the quotations, the competition's phone number, and it doesn't have to be, the phone number can be missing this little dash here, or it can have little quotes around here. Google will figure it out. And then you just do this little dash in URL, colon, not the HTTP, just the www, and then the actual domain that you want to look at. And you can check out how many citations they have. You may find that, a site that's ranking up on page number 1, or in the top 5, it may have hardly any citations at all. And so if you do a cool little hack, it's good. Let's just do it real quick here. Okay, so I did bail bonds in Tucson, Arizona. And just a quick note here, they're ranking up there at number 1. They have a page authority of 17, a domain authority of 18. So you'll notice these numbers usually stay around 20 for the locals. And let's see what their trust flow is and their citation flow is here. And see, they only have a 14, and they got a 29 here. So like I told you before, this will usually be the lower one, but you get just 1 or 2, get a YouTube video, get a backlink from Facebook, have a Facebook page. That would be one way to get high authority, to get some good citations with high on that, and with high trust authority. I gave you some examples earlier in this call. And then also I give you an example of an eBay backlink that had a trust flow up there. It was around 53 for the PA and the DA. That's going to be another one that's going to help boost you up there. That's going to get you way above 14. So that's where you want to be. So let's take a look at this little hack here. So what I did is I took the URL and then I found their phone number right here. And where'd that? I opened up in a different window. Let me just pull that up here. Here it is. Okay, so it looks just like that. That's the URL, okay, that pulled up, and that's their phone number. It's the exact one that I use. Go ahead and do a search. Now you want to be careful not to do this too often, just to analyze. Once you've finally done everything else, just to analyze like the top 3. Otherwise, Google will, if I did this a couple times, it would end up banning my IP address just for a couple of minutes. I go back on. But I just start scrolling down here, and you'll see, look, they got white pages, okay? They got 2 white pages there. They got Merchant Circle, okay? They got Phoenix.GoPickle, so that's another one. Zip Local, Local Bond, usbiz.com, whocalled.co. These are all citations. It's only going to be about 30. I know it says 33,000 here, but USBiz, iBegin, Show Me Local, Smart Pages, Yellow Pages, and I'll probably just give one more. Got a couple more here. MapQuest, haven't seen that for a while. 247 Get Bail, that's from another, so that's not going to be a citation. I don't know, citations. 401 Info is a citation. Directory, that's a citation. There we go. So it'll only stop you at around 41, and only maybe around 30, 25 of those maybe were actual citations. So that gives you an idea. That's a little hack way to find out what citations are. So what your competition has, because pretty much all those citations on there, look, if we just go back, I don't want to keep beating this over the head. If we just go back, let me find another good citation here. We can just analyze it really quickly. Here's Yellow Pages right here. So let's take a look at that. And you'll see right away that the page authority and the domain, look, that's a 92. That's crazy. Okay, so let's come out over here. And see, it's got a 69 trust flow right there. That's really high. So that helps pass on that kind of trust flow to your site, which is how you get it. A lot of times when we analyze sites, when they come in through the support desk, we'll look at the trust flow. It'll be below 5. And these are ways that you increase it. So I'll go ahead and exit that out. I'll move that back over there. And now we'll move on to the questions and answers that people emailed in and here. And let me go through those. The first question is do you have a recommended speed for adding cities to a site, or does it not matter at all from your experience? So basically we're referring to using the master domain, where you've got one domain and you're ranking it in many cities, many local cities. And yes, the speed does matter. We usually go for the first 4 to 5 cities. Once we have the first 4 to 5 cities ranking on page 1, we will at that point start to add other cities. What you'll find is there's a tipping point. Usually if you get 4 to 5, maybe 6 or 7 cities to rank on page 1 with a master domain, after that, almost any city you put up is going to rank with ease on page 1. So that's why we don't do it all at once. Plus, remember, every page 2 has to be original content. So that'll take some time to work as well. Okay, question number 2. For videos on city pages, okay, do you use the same video and just change the phone number, or do you edit versions like the length, the intro, and stuff like that? No, for videos on city pages, we would just use the same one. Okay, and I'm not sure if you're referring to the city pages of the master domain site. If you are, then we use the same one, and that's the way the new Qzx theme is set up. And we just use the same video. So it's just like it's part of the header, and we put the phone number in the text of the body. That way we can use the same video. Okay, so in a side note on the Qzx, we get a lot of support questions. People coming in saying, hey, where's the new Qzx theme? If you've already got the Qzx theme, just go into your admin area and just update it. You'll automatically get pushed out updates just like you would for the plugins too. You know, you go into the admin section, you'll see plugins, you'll see the little red circle with like the number 2. That means you got 2 plugins that need to be updated. You do the same thing with the theme. It'll have a little red 1 there and just give you the option to update it. That's how you get the updated Qzx themes. It'll get pushed out to you. Okay, the third question here is, in one of the last coaching calls, Chris recommends using original non-duplicate content for each city page. Yes, absolutely. Do you recommend this strategy for big cities or also for smaller surrounding cities? I noticed that Roto-Rooter uses duplicate content for smaller surrounding cities. That's a great question. And Roto-Rooter, that's one of the sites that we did do a case study with and reverse engineered it. But I would use original content with all big cities and even the smaller cities. I would just be extra careful with that. Okay, let's go on to the next set of questions here that was emailed in before the webinar. Should we be concerned that our company name might turn out to be someone's trademark? That's actually a pretty darn good question. And I'm sure there's some kind of trademark.gov site you could go out and check. Okay. So that's what I would do. In the last webinar, certain consumer interest posts were linked to several city pages on a master domain site. So I'm correct in assuming that most of the other posts should link to only one city page, as in the silo building examples that we have followed previously. Yes, so silo structure is exactly the same on a master domain site as it is on just a regular one city site. It's exactly the same process, okay? Number 3, for our outsourced VAs, how can we avoid the quarterly nightmare of IRS form tax withholding, work schedules with defined start and stop times to just qualify them as contracted employees? It's easy. Don't hire people that live or hold a U.S. passport. So you're going to hire from India or Philippines or Bangladesh, any country you want, as long as it's not the U.S., and then you don't have to worry about that. I've heard radically different opinions about protecting private blog network footprints, from being okay to use SEO hosting for all the domains to separate hosting providers for every site. And is using host 9 with different IP addresses for each domain good enough solution or not? My opinion on this end of it. My opinion is you definitely want to avoid any SEO hosting provider. And if it says we got SEO hosting, different IP addresses, you want to avoid those because those are specifically for people who are going to open up private blog networks, and you just want to avoid that. Okay, so you want to use stuff like host 9. You can even use some shared, mix it in, some shared hosting. Just make it look natural. What you're trying to do is avoid any kind of footprints whatsoever. And that would be one way, but you're gonna create a lot of footprints, because normally somebody who has an authority site and is backlinking and essentially giving their vote to another site that, hey, this is a good site, they normally wouldn't be hosted on an SEO hosting, right? So, and Google knows that. I found that there's an avalanche of solicitations to small business owners for SEO services and lead generation. Plus poor results from buyer leads from other lead gen companies have made owners much more resistant. This is true to sales calls than a year ago. What is your company's most effective current sales strategy for finding prospects who will seriously listen? Well, first of all, we've completely eliminated any kind of calling of clients on that end of it. We're doing strictly paid advertising to business owners in the form of Facebook and also Google AdWords. And so these are going to be targeted people and we give them a really irresistible offer. It's like, hey, how would you like to have 3 free leads on us? 3 free leads that are guaranteed, to convert. Very irresistible offer. Or how would you like one week's worth of free targeted leads to your chiropractic office? Okay, so you want to definitely specialize in a niche. So you don't want to make it general. You want to be speaking directly to chiropractors or whatever your niche is, because people want to work with a specialist. So, and then you give them an irresistible offer. And no one else out there, everyone else, all the SEOs and the lead gen sites, they're all asking for money up front and in the hopes that we'll get you results. It's like, hey, sign this contract, give us money up front, we'll do your SEO, and we can't always guarantee to get you to page one, but we have a good track record. They're sick and tired of that kind of stuff. Or with lead gens, they got to pay up front for lead gens. Give them something that's just ridiculously stupid that they can never say no to for people who are serious about it. Plus, you'd be doing paid advertising to them. So that would really be kind of a whole separate, different course, but that's how we do it. But if you're calling them, you give them an irresistible offer, okay, that they would be silly to refuse. What is your process for shooting links now to get your sites ranking in a short amount of time? Can't do it in a short amount of time. SEO now is really a patience game on here. Meaning, do you use Social Monkey, we do some we do social ADR, and then we do some from the private blog network, also some Web 2.0 sites. I go in and we use high quality links. I gave some examples earlier, but if you use the tools that I taught you there, and they've got the good trust flow on it, they've got good page authority, domain authority on it, you have a good high quality link, you're going to be just fine as far as that goes. And I've covered a lot of that of the backlink structure that we use for our sites inside the members area. So check those out. If you can't find them for some reason, just contact our support. They're there to assist you. Also, what theme are you using on your sites? We're using the Qzx theme. It's the only theme that we use. And you can download that in the members area. We highly suggest it. It's customized for what we do. And the Qzx theme is automatically updated. Okay, you just got to go back into your admin area inside your website and just check out the themes, and you'll see a little, every time there's an update, it'll get pushed out to you just like a plugin does. Alrighty, that's it there. So sorry for the technical difficulties, but we got at least a replay out to everybody on here. And remember to take action. Don't be a thinker, be a doer. And we'll see you on the next coaching call. Take care. Bye-bye.